Hello everybody. Today we're going to discuss how to make your man a supporter. This video is more for an existing relationship, the relationship that you are in and you feel like your man is not contributing enough as he should. Now, this is not a video where I will tell you how to manipulate a man to do something for you. This is a video how to change your energy and perception, and that would promote his change in his behavior and his contribution to your relationship or to your family. Now, I'm a Reiki master, so you know I work and study energy. I'm an NLP master, so I work and study mind as well. Plus, I studied Tantra for some time and still study, and I do study systemic approach to life. Now, this makes me kind of an expert, plus I've been married a few times, so I can tell you, I can assure you that I will give you the right approach, and if you will do everything I tell you, your man will become a supporter. Why? How do I for sure know this? Is because I did that myself. I worked for many years. I'm kind of somewhat was very independent and still am, and I believe that I don't need a man to live good, to provide for myself. And I was even a little embarrassed if a man would offer me money or something like that. Now, it was obviously wrong because I'm a woman and I should be accepting, I should be expecting even to get something from a man. It would be only normal. Now, because I was not, because I did not expect it from man, I was awkward in receiving anything from man. I would usually attract men that were weak, that were not very masculine, or that couldn't provide. They were masculine, but they couldn't provide. They were probably not successful, something like that. So once I changed myself around, once I changed my energy, my perception about the relationship, I started attracting different men that can provide, men that do provide, men that want to provide, that have the ability, that have the money and the resources to provide, and for them buying me a present is not really breaking their bank, but it's just, you know, a drop in their vast fortune kind of. So I want you, before I will start you, I want you to understand that it's absolutely normal for a man to provide. It is part of their development. So when a man provides for you and you're accepting it, you are helping him to develop. You see, you're doing like this God's work, so to say. You're giving him an opportunity to develop. If nobody would accept anything from man, how are they going to develop? It's just a part of their development. So don't think that you are like a little beggar asking them for something. You are actually helping them to develop. Now, in the energy exchange, if you didn't watch the video about man and woman energy exchange, right energy exchange, please do watch it. I will put it in the description. But in the right energy exchange, a man gives a woman security, she gives him pleasure, he gives her something bigger than just security, like some kind of gifts, luxuries. She gives him love, he gives her status, and she gives him a vision. So it is a normal energy exchange between the two of them. There is nothing wrong. You see, you wouldn't be able to give a man love and pleasure if he's not doing nothing for you. It would be very awkward. What are you loving him for if he's not providing security for you? So if you are just working and exhausting yourself, and you expect a man to, I don't know, just to love you, then you exchange the roles, and now you're a man and he's a woman. So in the right exchange, you're supposed to be a woman that is accepting and giving him emotional kind of support. It's normal. That's how it should be. So if you expect a man to support you, fully support your family, even maybe if you're not living together, but you're boyfriend, girlfriend, it's okay for him to provide for you here and there some money and help you with your responsibilities. I want you to understand that it's absolutely normal. And depending on the outcome of this video, depending on you changing the perception or not, you can either make your man or break him. If you allow man to develop and to provide, he will start looking for ways how to get even better, how to make more money, to make you to give you more. If you will be satisfied with whatever you have and will be like, no, I only need your love and that's it. I mean, the man will not see a reason why he should be working harder for anything at all. So it is really up to you whether whether you will make your man or break him. Remember, a woman develops in pleasure, a man develops in challenge. If he doesn't have challenges, how is he going to develop? This video, as I said, is for existing relationships. If you're looking for a man, make sure that the man that you will pick matches your standards of living. This is important. Usually, the problem with the man being a supporter or not supporter happens when a woman and a man are have different standards. Usually, they're energetically matching, but living standards, they don't match. For example, I'm meeting a man who is let's say extremely wealthy, but he is wounded, so to say. So our energy matches, because I'm not extremely wealthy, he's extremely wealthy, but he's wounded, and therefore he matches me. But his standard of living is super high. Maybe he's used to wake up and there is like a breakfast in front of him served by a butler, and I obviously I prefer to go to a cafe and eat there, but our standards are different. So if you are, it's a good example because I will grow to him. If you are looking for a relationship, better choose a man with the same standard of living or a little higher. Otherwise, you will just exhaust yourself to be pulling him up all the time after the honeymoon stage, and the honeymoon stage will wear out. And it's kind of hard to admire a man that's not on your standard. Whatever you will tell me, yeah. What was that saying? Real love can live in a shack or something like that. It does while it's a honeymoon stage, and after that, what are you going to do? So this video is for existing relationship. Now let's turn it around. Let's make your existing relationship different. Let's make your man a provider. Let's make him a supporter of your family and of you. Again, even if you are not living together, doesn't mean that he should not provide you. If you are in a somewhat committed relationship with this man, he should provide for you. Remember, if you're giving him love and pleasure and he's not giving you nothing, he feel like he's indebted to you. Nobody wants to feel that. So it's either he will provoke you to blame him for something or something. Nobody wants to feel indebted, and obviously no man. Realize that it's absolutely normal that a man provides. I'm telling you this as a person that study energy, that it's absolutely normal. I worked in finances for many years. There was not one time when a man said to me, "Can you imagine she expects me to pay the rent?" Not once. And the richer the man, the less awkward the conversations are. Usually man is like, "Yeah, I know she loves me for my money, but I mean, that's perfect. I'm happy I have the money." Like this, you see, I mean, there's nothing wrong to admire a man who has money. I mean, look, if a man likes me for my looks, I'm happy I have the looks that he likes. If a man likes me for my energy, I'm happy I have the energy. I'm happy to work on it more just so for him to like it. So if a man has money and a woman likes him for money, there's nothing wrong in that. The man is only proud that he can make the money for her to love him and admire him even more. It is absolutely normal, before you will start telling me something. So it is absolutely normal, and a man should provide. You should understand this. This is just a healthy energy exchange. If a man is not providing, he feels that he is not needed, and this was my problem. When I was not asking my man for anything, they felt like they are not needed, and they didn't know how to prove their masculinity to me, and they were proving it wrong. Once I start expressing my wishes to a man, to different man actually, this awkwardness disappeared, because now they're providing, they're giving me something. They feel like a hero in my life story, so to say. Now, understand, if you're in a relationship right now and your man is not providing, and you believe that there is no way out and that he could not jump over his own head, you're mistaken. It could be different. A man can be a provider. He can be, and it doesn't have to be a different man. So if you think, okay, so this man, he's just whatever he is, he makes his 4,000 a month, I don't think he can do anymore. If I will find a richer man, then maybe he could be a provider. Maybe you will find a richer man, he would start having problems with money. Instead, this man can become wealthier. I actually saw somebody like this in I just started working in finances. He was not my client, but the guy, he so much wanted to make his family wealthy and healthier. Actually, what he wanted to do, he wanted to take the whole family on a really good vacation, on a cruise. Not sure why he chose the cruise. I mean, it's not like the best vacation, but still, that's what he wanted to do. So he started playing lotto. And his wife really believed in him. She believed that he can do it. And he won much more than, I think he won a few million. But he was able to win. He took the family on a cruise. I mean, they bought a bigger house and everything. What I want to say is that your man that you have right now can change things around if you will change your energy and perception about him. So this is what you need to do. Once you understand this, you need to start seeing men as providers. So you could not see them as somebody just next to you. And you need to start focusing on things that they do. So if your man is capable of only buying bread right now, I mean, like, focus only that he bought the bread, nothing else. If you're buying the rest of the groceries yourself, focus only on that bread. Focus that he does contribute and that he does bring something. I'm telling you, whatever you focus on becomes bigger. And I know it from my own experience. It was like my hugest problem with men, that they wouldn't spend. I mean, I don't ask, they don't spend, and we just run in circles. You know, I'm unhappy, he's unhappy. It was a very strange kind of relationship. Then what you need to do, you need to stop solving any kind of issues. So if your washer broke down, you're not running to fix that problem. You're telling your man that your washer broke down and you could not do the laundry. Let him solve the issue. Let him find out who is going to fix it. Let him buy the new washer. Let him borrow the money for the new washer. Look, this is not your problem. If you will not allow challenges on your man, he will never develop. I'm telling you that because I went through that. Let him. Men can be very resourceful when they need to be. You will be surprised. Another thing that you need to stop doing, you need to stop, like, if a man is not contributing at all to your table, if he's not buying food, if he's not paying for the groceries, you need to stop feeding him. And yes, I know, well, but we're living together, how I'm supposed to cook for myself and not for him? You need to start eating out, and that's it. Actually, I had a friend who did this. He did it out of spite, but it really pushed her man to do things. So what she did, she didn't eat breakfast, I guess, but we would eat lunch together because we used to work together. And then for dinner, she would grab something, and that's it. So there was no food at home. And her man was basically, I'm not sure what he was doing, but at one point he realized that there is no food, and she would come home and he's like, did you eat? And she's like, no, I didn't. And he would feel so guilty that she didn't eat and there is no food at home, that he would order pizza or something like that in the beginning, and then he started making money. She was doing it not to develop him, she was doing it out of spite, but still it helped him to develop. Once he developed and became successful, they broke up because she didn't need him no more. But the whole point is that man could be resourceful. So you need to stop feeding him, stop solving any kind of issues. Another thing, what you need to do, you need to remove yourself from any kind of responsibilities. If your name is on an electricity bill, remove yourself. If your name is on the list, remove yourself from the let your man have a lease on your car, everything, all these responsibilities. Usually why we take responsibilities is because it gives us some kind of security and it makes us somewhat important. We feel like, and I know this from my own, I felt so good when I was when I had lease on my name and I had all my bills on my name. I felt like this a powerful lady. Really, I was not. I just thought that if I have it all on my name, I can kick him out at any time and the apartment will be mine. But really, this is not what I wanted. I didn't want to kick him. I didn't even want it to be in a relationship where I had to kick a man out. So remove yourself, especially if you live with the man. Let it be on his on his name. It is all an illusion. You think that you will be so powerful. You won't be powerful. You will just feel like you're responsible for so many things. Don't be responsible. When you don't have responsibilities on your name, you basically almost untouchable. You can pick up and go anytime you want. And the man will never allow that to happen. He still will be. Trust me. I've seen men that pay bills for their ex-girlfriends for I don't know how many years till now, because they're still on their bills, or because they still feel like without them the girl will not make it in life. So, and I met quite a few of them. So I think those men were my signs that it could be different. But at that time I was just angry that I was not that woman that an ex would pay. Even though right now my exes come and contribute to my life. This is just how tables turn around. Again, security comes from the inside. Security doesn't come from having your name on the list. I mean, unless it is a rule, it's a law, your association requires you to be on the list, put yourself. But for the most part, don't get yourself into this responsibilities. Let a man handle the responsibility. That's why he's a man. If he will know that there is bills hanging on him, he will be much more proactive and he will find a way how to pay for them. Now, if he could not afford the place where you guys live right now, then maybe you would have to move somewhere where he can afford and he can be comfortable. But for the most part, he is the one who should be responsible for it. I remember I spoke to a man, and as you know, I live on the beach, so it is maybe a little pricier than if I would not live on the beach. I spoke to this man, and he really wanted us to live together, even though I'm not a big fan of that. And he said, I can tell you now, I could not afford to live here, but I can really rent a really nice place like in the mainland. It was not really my stand, because I didn't understand why should I change my life for him. But I appreciated that he was ready to take on the responsibility in where it was comfortable for him, so to say. Now, when there is, so you will say, well, we're in a relationship and there is conversations about money come out. Yes, they do, but they only come out because you worried about them. If you wouldn't, they wouldn't be coming out. But since if the conversation comes out, you need to shut it really fast. For example, a man tells something like, I don't know how I'm going to get enough money for rent, and you will tell him something like, I'm sure you'll figure it out, or you sound so sexy when you talk money, or something like that. You see, often a man does not look for your contribution. A man only speaks loud. He brainstorms basically like this. Doesn't mean that he's expecting you to chip in or go and get yourself a second job or something like that. He is just brainstorming, and allow him that. Give him, instead of sitting there and solving the problems with him, give him a motivation why he should think harder and work harder to get this rent money. Cut off the money conversations with anybody. Look, I'm a woman, a feminine woman. I'm responsible for my bills, obviously. I have, responsibilities like everybody else. I don't discuss my money problem with anybody. Why should a grown-up masculine man discuss it with anybody? He is comfortable discussing it with you because you are acting as a parent to him, so he's crying to you like a boy to his mom. But you're not his mother, you're his woman. And as a woman, you should do what woman does. You should inspire him, give him pleasure and love, and let him be a man. You see, at one point he has to grow up, and okay, maybe he didn't grow up when he was with his parents. Let him grow up now with you, especially if you do want to stay in this relationship. So this is any conversation about money, you cut it very fast. No talking about this for hours and hours. Yeah, he can say whatever he needs to say, but you don't need to reciprocate. You don't need to answer or give him some kind of ideas. Never ever borrow money to a man. I think everybody speaks about this. I think every single female coach here talks about this. But I will tell you again, never ever borrow money to a man. He has a lot of resources. He has his parents. He probably has some kind of savings. He has his friends. Worst case scenario, he has a bank, you know. I mean, go and borrow money from somebody else, not from a woman. Never ever do this. Again, when you borrow money to a man, when you lend money to a man, you basically feeling empowered, you know, like you mean something to him. No, you're not. You're basically just there to solve his problems. I mean, he doesn't need a woman that will solve his problems. He needs a muse, and you are not a muse right now. You're like a bank. You're a problem solution. You know, you're losing your charm. That's why it is crucial never ever to lend money to a man. If you're like forced to help him to borrow money to a man, if you are forced to help him with the money, you need to make some kind of fine that he has to pay you. For example, I told you I worked in finances for many years, and because I work in finance many years, my credit score is impeccable, my records obviously. So what happened, a lot of people would ask me cosign with them, and because I was such an empathetic kind of fool, I would do that. And I remember the last loan I did, it was actually a very trustworthy friend that always paid, and he needed it for his business kind of idea. So I knew I would agree, but I knew I shouldn't do it. I already was starting energy, and I knew that it's not right. And I told him, I will do it. It will be the last time. And he's like, okay, fine. And I made the rule. So basically the rule was until he pays off. So I'm only co-signing. He's still paying the loan. But until the loan is paid off, he would send me my flower money. So it was like $50-$70 every month he would send me, so I can buy myself a bouquet of flowers. It was like many years ago. I don't know whether you can buy a bouquet of flowers for this amount now, but this was my flowers. And he would basically send me every month, in addition to that amount that he needs to pay the loan, also my money, my flowers, my money for the flowers. I think it was $50-$70 depending, I guess, on his mood. And he obviously was buying me a present every year. It was like 3 years, I think. Again, I didn't really wanted to do it, but he counted on me, and I did for him before a couple of times. So I didn't want to leave him hanging, but I knew I have to get something from it, because there must be energy exchange. If I'm helping him, he still needs to give something to me, because I am a woman. I'm not a bank, you see. and I think he felt really good. He did actually, because he was grateful that I'm helping him, and he was and he felt like when he was sending me money for the flowers, he felt like he was showing his appreciation somehow. So it was good. I mean, we're still really great friends, so it wasn't like he was forced into this. If you are, let's say, married and your man knows that you have money and you're like forced, I wouldn't suggest you to give the money to him. But if you see that, okay, it seems like a valid reason and he promised he will pay, he always paid back, make some kind of condition. Let him buy you a present once he paid off the loan back to you, or something like that. Like, again, it is not really your problem. I wouldn't lend money to any man again. I don't think it's right. It wasn't right that time. But there is so many more other resources that a man can go to. Let him go to his family. Let him go to his parents, to his cousins, to his brothers, to his friends, to a masculine energy. If he's coming to you and you are feminine, well, if you are a feminine woman, he will never come to you with this request. But he probably sees in you equal masculinity, and that's not what you want him to see, right? You want him to see a woman that needs his help and support. So no, that's a big no. If you're forced to do it, let's imagine you kind of married and he knows you have your funds, then make some kind of condition, a good condition, not just something. When you help man financially, it's like you don't believe he's capable and strong to figure it out on his own. Yeah, most of the time that's what I see. Even though a woman believes that he can do better, inside she doesn't believe that much. A woman that believes in her man's strengths, she has this unshakable faith that he will make it. And I saw couples like this. I saw when a man really turned around, like really became successful. I mean, successful for their family. Not too many though. Usually I see the opposites. When a woman is so convinced that he's a forever loser, that she doesn't even expect anything from him, he will buy her flowers for her birthday, and she's like shocked because she doesn't expect him to do anything good. And this is wrong, obviously. A man, especially a masculine man, he's capable of a lot of things. Allow him, let him do it. You will see, you will be surprised. Sometimes our ego doesn't allow us to admit that we were wrong, but a man can do it. I guarantee you that. So how to start seeing strengths in a man? You need to go back to the beginning of the relationship. There is a reason why you're with this man from the beginning. I mean, he did something good in the beginning. He impressed you somehow, and I'm sure it wasn't just intimacy. Maybe he took you out, or maybe he bought you something you liked, or I mean, there must be something good. So go back into the beginning of the relationship and see why you admired him, why you chose this man over a whole bunch of other men. I mean, there must have been something manly in him, something masculine that attracted you in him. Maybe I don't know, maybe you guys were going out all the time, he was paying for it. So see the strengths. Return that admiration for his strengths. I did it with every single guy, with every significant guy in my life. Why? Because I had to, kind of. My problem was that men are not generous. I don't know where it was coming from, honestly. But I had this issue, and as soon as I am comfortable in a relationship, the man become not generous. That's what I thought. And I was working with my mentor, and she said this is not true. If you would really not like generous man, you would never be with this man. You would never even consider him. So he was generous at one point. Find where it was, and usually it's in the beginning. In the beginning, a man would take me out, buy me things, buy me flowers, buy me little presents. But then I would start like, okay, so when is he going to become cheap now? When is he going to stop this? I was like expecting him. I was waiting for him to become that. And he was becoming that because I was expecting that from him. So it has nothing really to do with the man. It was my patterns, and he was just playing on them. So I had to heal it with every single guy that I was with. I basically had to go to the beginning and start feeling about every man the way I was feeling in the beginning of the relationship. Yes, I had to put my ego down, obviously, but it helped me. Right now I attract completely different men, very strong, very masculine, and very successful. Well, according to my standards, so to say, successful and generous, and obviously that's a completely different game right now. And one more thing that I wanted to say. No, not yet. Yeah, so one more thing that I want to say. I already mentioned that you need to focus on what man is doing for you, not on what he's not doing. And remember, you're a ball of pleasure. As a feminine woman, you have a pleasure, love, and a vision in you. Every man wants it. Every man wants it. I'm telling you. A couple of days ago, I was walking on the street, and some guy came behind me, took like my hair, and started smelling it. I was like, I was so scared. I mean, I was so scared. I shouted, "I will call the police!" And I don't even know the number to the police around here, but I was scared, and he was shocked. He was looking at me like, what did he do? But he did it on an impulse, and I understand that. What I want to say is that you're a woman. You have something that every man wants. And if you tell me, wow, but there is a lot of women around, yeah, there are a lot of women around, but there are a lot of men, and they all want a woman, so why not them to want you? You're a ball of pleasure, and that ball of pleasure has to go to the best man, so to say. If you're with your man, then he's the best man right now in your life, he is the best man for you. So why not to believe that this best man wants to do everything for you, for his ball of pleasure, his ball of love. You see, now if he is not providing you, you should basically, I don't know, you shouldn't be with this man. There's no such thing. like, why would you stay with the man that doesn't appreciate his woman, her emotions, her love, her kind of everything that she gives him? Ideally, that doesn't happen. Usually a man doesn't provide when a woman doesn't give him the pleasure, the love that she carries within her. But let's imagine you are with such a man and he's not changing, and you are not willing to change the energy around him. Why would you be with him? I mean, maybe it's time to move on and find a different man. Remember, you are desirable by all. What you should do, really, if you're with a man and you're in a relationship and you don't want to leave this man, you obviously have some kind of feelings for him because you're in a relationship with him. As soon as you feel like he's not providing, let's imagine he was giving you manicure money every week, right? Let's imagine, I don't know, $150 ongoing rate right now, I think. So he was giving you money for your manicures every week, and then one week he's like, listen, things are tough right now, I couldn't give you any more money or something, or we need to kind of to cut back. This is what you need to tell him. You need to tell him, I 100% agree with you, and maybe I should give you some time and space for you to figure out your business, your issues. You see, you could not be staying and waiting for him, because if you will give in and you will say, yeah, you're right, but it's okay, my nails are not as important, I can wait, nothing good will come out of it. You will think that he will appreciate that you are that you are understanding him, that you're getting in his shoes and his position. No, he wouldn't. He would appreciate you in the moment, but he will, if he doesn't have a motivation to make more money, why would he make more money? That's what I'm trying to get to. If you shouldn't be, if he is giving you every week money for your manicure, $150, you need to start in a couple months asking money for your hair too, another $150. Man grows in challenges. You need to create those challenges for him. Otherwise, he will create them himself, or somebody else will create. Maybe he will meet a high maintenance woman. He will be like, my God, she's so beautiful, I want to be a part of this of her kind of her world, and he will be giving her money instead of you. Or maybe he will find some kind of project where he will be dumping money in, like I told you about my friend that spent millions of dollars because his wife is not really is not asking for much. So what I want to say is that don't if a man is complaining about money and he sacrificing your well-being because he doesn't have money right now, you should give him space, so to say. You should take a little break from him. Like I put here, you can say something nice. I think I should let you figure out your issues now. It seems you have a lot on your plate, like that. And I did a couple times. First time I did was the guy that I didn't really care much. So we were like benefiting each other, so to say, and friends with benefits, or whatever it's called right now. So we were basically in each other's life like this, and at one point I think he became a little too comfortable with me, and I was already working with my energy. So he said something like so we had a tradition to go out twice a week. We used to go out, and it was just like our little tradition. And then one day he said something like, it's becoming so expensive to go out, why don't we just order in and then spend time at home? And I was like, what is happening here right now? We're not in a relationship, and now we're not even going out. I mean, I don't really need it. So I really didn't care much for him. I didn't care whether we were together or not, because we are not in a relationship. We were entertaining each other. So that's exactly what I told him. I told him, listen, why don't you figure out your things and call me when you are ready to go out, because I'm not giving up on my lifestyle because you could not afford something. I maybe was a little rude, but I put my point across very very strong, so to say, and I left. I left, and I haven't seen him. And then, like, maybe in a month or so, he called and he's like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Let's go out. I fixed everything, and we went out that one time, but then I don't know, I was doing something else. I already lost interest. in him. What I want to say is that you don't need to sit and work through the hardships that you guys are in together, unless you're married. But still, even if you're married, if a man will sacrifice a lot of things before he will sacrifice your comfort. So don't let him sacrifice you first, so to say. And let him figure it out on his own. Don't run to help him like that. So that's something that you need to remember, to really remember. Remember, you are a ball of pleasure, and that ball of pleasure could not be a ball of pleasure if you don't have security, if you don't live comfortably and strongly. Now, how are you going to give pleasure to this man or any other man if you need to work to a job? So if you could not go and do your manicures, or if you could not treat yourself or something like that, you see, you will not be a ball of pleasure. Once you will stop being ball of pleasure, your man will not want you. So you could not sacrifice yourself. Remember that. Don't give in. Basically, don't lower your standards for anybody. And better give the man a space and let him figure it out. Remove yourself from his space. Remove and let him understand what he can lose, because men, especially masculine men, they tend to be somewhat selfish, and they can easily step all over you if you don't if you are not strong enough to withstand whatever they're up to. One more thing I want to mention, I think this would be the last one. A man provides security. Man provides security and for your material well-being. So man supposed to provide you with home, food, the house insurance if you need one. So anything to keep you secure and alive. These are just the standards. I'm not talking about particular man. A man provides also luxuries, vacations. This is normal. So he's given physical security. A woman gives emotional support, love, pleasure, vision. If you are expecting from a man love and pleasure, then you're in a different role, and you're looking for a different. You're looking for a wrong support. Now, if you will be looking for love and pleasure in a man, he will lose the focus and he will not be able to be your supporter. A man cannot be both at once. Like, it's almost impossible. For example, I will give you like the brightest example. I actually had a client, and she loved to spend, like, sometimes she was very masculine. She still is, but she learned to deal with her masculinity on her own. So sometimes when she felt like overwhelmed, she would call her man, and he's like, oh, I miss you, why don't we spend a couple days together? So he will drop everything. He's a business owner. He would drop everything. He would come and stay with her for a couple of days. They would just lay around, order food, cuddle, whatever they're doing. I'm not sure what they were doing, but they basically would like disappear from the world for a couple of days or so. Then she had enough. She goes back to her, to her work, to her masculine kind of self, and he goes back to his business. So his business starts suffering. He starts dropping little by little, and it started bothering him, and he started getting a little detached. So every time she would call him, and she's like, "Oh, I need you so much." He wouldn't just drop everything and run to her. He would be like, "Listen, I cannot today. Maybe tomorrow I can stop by, or maybe like in the next week or something like that." She would become angry because she needs this emotional support from him, when in fact that's what he also needed. So neither of them were providing emotional support. She was making the money. She was fighting her own battles. He was trying to make him successful and worthy of her, and there was nobody who would give love and pleasure. It's either he would have basically give up on his business and became her feminine man, or she would need to learn how to deal with her issues on her own. And that's basically where I came in, and that's what we started to do. Now, once she started dealing with her issues on her own, she started creating the pleasure and love in her. She was not dependent on him for pleasure and love. she was not codependent on him. She was just whenever they were together, they were just enjoying themselves, but she was not dependent on him to stay with her for days, for hours, for whatever. And they are not together any longer. I mean, I don't think they were planned to be together, but their relationship became somewhat more harmonious once she started creating pleasure and love in her. So if you want to have a supporter, provider man, you have to be a feminine woman. You see, you could not be a masculine woman and expect a man to be masculine provider. It's almost impossible, you know. Like a man will not see a woman in you. He will see another man energetically, and he'll be like, "Why I'm supposed to pay for this dude?" Like. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to put you down. Obviously, we live in a masculine society. Everybody has to provide for themselves. You know, I'm providing. Obviously, you know, I'm happy when the man steps in and does something for me. I'm grateful. I'm happy. Obviously, in a relationship, I don't provide, but you need to know where to be masculine and where to be feminine. When you're with your man, you need to be a feminine woman. So he would see this, he would have this desire to provide for you, to better off himself, to motivate himself, to become even more successful, just so you will have a better life, just so you will feel more admiration for him. You see what I mean? This is non-negotiable. If you want your man to support you, you have to become feminine woman. Now, from this, you becoming a feminine woman, what are you doing? You have to have trust as a feminine woman. You have trust and acceptance. So you know that your man will provide. You know that your man will create the security, will be able to get the money. You trust him. You are not asking, "Hey, do you have rent for this month yet?" I mean, like this. If you will be constantly on his back, there is no trust. If you don't believe in him, he will deliver what you believe in. So if you believe that he will not be able to get the rent money or the mortgage money, he won't. You see, you need to really fully immerse yourself in this trust and acceptance as a feminine woman. Again, if you don't believe that your man can provide, maybe it's better you guys separate. Let him figure it out on his own and come back to your life. Because otherwise, both of you will always be crippled. You will always believe that that men are not in this economy, are not cannot really do it all on their own, and he will always believe that this is the maximum he can do. You see, maybe if you will separate, he will, instead of feeling guilty all the time with you, maybe he will start focusing more on himself, on what he's doing, and he will become successful faster. Or maybe if you will kind of separate from him, you will start focusing on yourself, on your femininity, and you will start attracting a different kind of man, or even this man will become more successful. You see, whether a man is a supporter or not fully depends on you. Nothing else. If you will say, "Well, I married a man that is not rich," well, why did you marry a man that's not rich? I mean, you found a match that you found a man that matches your energy. You see, if you would have a higher standards or a stronger energy, or you are super feminine, you would be attracted a different kind of man, a wealthier man, more successful man, and they will be providing you more. But trust me, there are wealthy men that don't provide. It's not really, it has nothing to do with the man and his finances. It's more about what you are accepting, what you believe that you can get, and versus what the man will give you, like that. So you have to become, you have to believe that a man can really provide for you, that you not only deserve, but it's absolute and normal thing in this life. Masculinity provides security for femininity. It's just how it is. That's just normal, you know. Even your masculinity inside of you provides security, provides the safe space for femininity inside of you. So why a man outside of you could not provide for you? He will, and if given a chance, I'm telling you, he will. As I told you in the beginning of this video, I worked in finances with a very wealthy man. Not one man ever said, "Oh my God, can you imagine? She's such a gold digger." Actually, they loved gold diggers because they motivated them. They kept them on their toes, and they had to make more money to stay in the game. I'm telling you, you feeling so sad and sorry for your man makes him only weak. You're not doing any favors to him. Okay, so to sum it up, this video is for women that are in a relationship and you want to make your man a supporter. He's not right now. Maybe he's you are 50-50, or maybe he's trying but he could not. Whatever the story is, you can make him a provider. It all will him providing for you depends on your perception in this world and your energy. Now, understand that it's absolutely normal. Usually women that don't get nothing from men awkward in accepting. They feel and you can watch my video Art of Acceptance, but they feel kind of strange. They feel strange when somebody gives them something. So understand that it's absolutely normal. You're doing a man a favor when he's providing to you. Something's happening there. He's developing this way. You're helping him to develop, and you're also developing when you're accepting. Now, understand that if in your life it's not like this, it could be different. It will be different. Start seeing man as a provider. So whatever he's bringing right now, focus on that. Whatever it is, even if it's like very little to your lifestyle, still he's doing something. Stop absolutely solving his issues or any kind of issues that concern both of you. He's a man, let him do that. Stop if he's living off you, stop with that completely. Stop feeding him. I mean, eat out or something. He will find the resources. Obviously, I'm not even talking about you paying his bills. That's completely out of the question. You need to stop doing that as well. Take yourself off all the responsibilities, as much as you possibly can. I mean, obviously, if you guys own a house together, don't take yourself off the deed. But if you are renting, I mean, do you really need to be on the lease? Do you really need to have all the bills on your name and then asking for money so you can pay the bills? It's probably, let the man handle the responsibilities. Again, by being on all these bills, you're just creating this kind of security inside of you. Security comes from the inside, not from you being responsible for the bills. Any kind of conversation about the money has to be shut down very fast in a nice way. Like, you sound so sexy when you talk money, or I'm sure you'll figure it out on your own. Again, a man could be just brainstorming. Never lend money to a man. If you do, if you're like cornered and there is no choice, then make some kind of a deal with him. Make him do something as a penalty. Maybe buy you something or give you some money in addition to giving you back whatever he owes. If you help a man financially, you don't believe that he's strong enough, you're doing disservice to him and to yourself. So start seeing that he's strong enough and he can do that. And remember, if you want to have a supporter, provider man, you have to become feminine. Instead of fixing him and telling him what he has to do, start working on yourself. The more feminine you become, the more it will motivate him and push him to do more for you. Start working on your second and fourth chakras. Develop pleasure and love in you. Do not expect pleasure and love from your man. If you're expecting pleasure and love from your man, he will lose the focus and he will really not know what to do. A man grows in challenges, so let him solve his challenges and you will work on love and pleasure for you and for him. And again, if you believe that you are not, if you are not provided, usually it's because you don't know how to accept, or you believe that you don't deserve it. So change that around. Start seeing yourself as a completely deserving, as this amazing person, and start creating more pleasure in you. The more pleasure will be in you, the stronger your energy will be. The more you will start receiving from the universe and obviously from a man next to you. I hope it was useful. Please do change your energy. Please allow your man to develop in your presence. Give them this chance, give them this opportunity. A man will become stronger, you will become stronger, and it's just a benefit for each other. Another thing that I wanted to mention, I should have probably, but often women are afraid that if a man becomes very successful, he will leave them or he will choose somebody else. This is a fear that needs to go. Please do work on that. This is a trust issue that also doesn't have no valid background for it. So remember, you're a ball of pleasure that deserves everything and that should receive everything, and this is absolutely normal. Start focusing on a man's strengths. Allow him to solve his issues and challenges. Don't run to help him financially. He's a man, he can find it and he can do it himself. Men are very resourceful, and just sit in trust and acceptance of what is coming your way. That's it. Let me know what you think about this subject. If you have questions, please do ask them. I do appreciate your likes, follows. Send this video to whoever might benefit from it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody. Enjoy your day.